Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 15 of In Rhythm Podcast. Today, Graham and I are going to discuss with you the NBA playoffs, now the first round's ending, and how the NBA is getting shaken up. We're going to talk to you about Naomi Osaka and her decision to not withdraw from the French Open. We're going to talk about the Boston Celtics and what they're doing right now in their front office, and how... Man, I missed it. What are we doing now, Graham?
How Duke had a little coaching shakeup.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go. So, we're going into the NBA, Graham, right?
Yeah.
We have some series wrapped up. Boston got the knife yesterday from Brooklyn, and we're going to talk about them later. They made some moves today, and series are wrapping up. There are a few interesting ones left. One being Graham's Wizards, maybe a little interesting. After they won Game 4, Joel Embiid has a partially torn meniscus. He's not playing tonight, and they're playing in Wells Fargo. Game 6 will be in D.C. Graham, what do you think about this series? Do you think you guys got a chance?
Well, I'm not going to be all delusional and say, I'm already thinking about the Hawks, I'm not going to start talking like that. But I'm saying it's going to be in Philly. They have full capacity, so it's going to be a dangerous atmosphere anyway. So the Sixers are still probably favorites, even without Embiid tonight. But if we win tonight, we're not dropping a game in D.C., I'll tell you that right now. Especially with the less than 50% Embiid if he plays at all. If we win tonight, it's going 7. And I like my chances with Bradley Beal. I like my chances with Bradley Beal. He's been getting buckets no matter what. I don't care. I don't care about Tobias Harris. That man had a fluke. 35-point game, whatever that happened. We don't need to worry about that. If we go 7 and Embiid is not his full capacity, I'm taking the Wizards, but those are high hopes. I'm not going to say that we have the series just because Embiid's out.
I really feel like for the Sixers to really, they need Embiid playing for them to be really well-oiled, because I saw that when Simmons wasn't playing, they actually played better last game or whatever after Embiid was hurt. So, like, he's really not the guy that he's not really their offensive production. So they need Tobias or, like, Seth Curry to drop, like, 30 for them to be really efficient offensively without Embiid.
Yeah, so, I mean, Embiid has, like, I think I saw he had, like, the highest usage rate out of any superstar in the league or all-star in the league. And, like, I don't know, in the second half when Embiid wasn't playing, like, their shooters didn't look, like, as comfortable as they were. Embiid definitely helps them, like, get these open looks and makes the offense more fluid. So, yeah, if Embiid's not out there, it's a whole different team.
So we'll see about that one. I mean, like you said, it's going to be tough for them to come back because that'd be a 3-0 comeback.
First ever.
Yeah, that'd be unprecedented. But, I mean, why not, as Russell Westbrook would say.
Yeah, why not?
So I mean, we'll see what happens there. What, are they tipping off at 7:30 tonight, Graham?
I think it's 7:30, same thing.
One of those two. So at 7:30 or 7, the other game is the Hawks and the Knicks tonight. The Hawks are up 3-1. They're playing in Madison Square Garden tonight. Looks like that's a wrap. I mean, we both picked the Knicks, but Atlanta really took care of home court. And it looks like Trae Young's kind of hooping right now. So
yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to say about this. The Hawks have been dominating. The Knicks just weren't ready. Everyone besides Derrick Rose has not been playing good, so yeah.
Julius Randle hasn't been showing up, and he's been their best player all year. Derrick Rose has kind of lifted some of it, but not enough. He's been balling, though. I'm happy to see him playing well.
Yeah, no, it definitely is good to see Derrick Rose out there hooping. Hopefully he can go, not that the Knicks aren't a contender, but hopefully this opens up a lane for him to be on a contender. I don't know, maybe the Lakers or the Clippers who need maybe a point guard somewhere. Just, I don't know, maybe it opens up his lanes in the future. Because I don't know if the Knicks is his home where he wants to finish his career, but he's definitely rejuvenating it even more.
I mean, yeah, like, look at Rajon Rondo last year in the Lakers. He could do something like that in LA next year.
100%.
That'd be nice. I want to see D Rose the champion one day.
No, I think every NBA fan would love that.
Yeah, I think there's no one in the NBA who does not like and hope for the best for Derrick Rose.
If you hate Derrick Rose, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, you need to get something checked out. So Atlanta's gonna win that one. A couple other enticing series going on at the end is the Lakers and the Suns, because LeBum yesterday,
man,
he walked off the court with 6 minutes left when his team was down 30. Now, I'm a big LeBron is right up there with Jordan, if not better. But I don't like the way how he left his teammates out there when they were down 30. But, I mean, I don't know all the circumstances. He could have been getting maybe he was hurt, but I don't know. It wasn't a great look. Jordan wouldn't have been down by 30 without AD. So,
This guy.
I don't know, Graham. I don't know. I think the Suns got this one. I think they're down bad.
I mean, they're not. The Lakers aren't going to do anything without Anthony Davis. When if any team loses their superstar number 2 option, they're not going to be able to perform that way. And like I said last episode, I think the winner of this series is taking the West. So honestly, these are the 2 best teams in the West, in my opinion. So it's not like I know a lot of people like to get on LeBron, like, but it's not like he's losing to like some scrub team. Like, this is probably the most complete team in the West, and like. They have Chris Paul. Like, when Chris Paul has played over 30 minutes, they're 2-0 in those games. Like, he's the deciding factor, and especially if Anthony Davis is not there. I don't know realistically how much hope the Lakers can have, but I definitely wouldn't put more than like 20% of the blame on LeBron. No one's making shots for him. He can't do everything. He had to come off an ankle injury. He's 36. I mean, he's one of the greatest athletes ever, but he's not superhuman. He's going to need help eventually, so. People are saying this is like a legacy-defining like playoff series, and I just don't agree with that. I mean, this is the first time if he loses that he'll ever lose a first round in the playoffs. Like, he has been that dude his whole career. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
But I also saw that 2 of the starters yesterday scored 0 points, and 4 guys were combined 0 for 17 from field goals. So. Yeah, I'm not saying the bum. It was more of a joke, but also I was more referring to him walking off the court with 6 minutes left. That's a little classless in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not taking anything away from LeBron or his skills or anything other than maybe a little bit of his character. I don't know, just a little bit.
You just said Jordan wouldn't be down by 30.
It wouldn't be down by 30.
Bro,
no.
He didn't win. He didn't get out of the first round for like his first 8 years of his career.
Yeah, he was 1-9. But listen.
Okay, that's all we got to talk about for that.
Yeah, but LeBron's like not. He's in the veteran stage. Where I'm not even hating on him for like losing the game. I'm just hating on him for walking off the court with 6 minutes left because that's kind of classless.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I guess it's just like 2 different mindsets.
I guess if my captain walked off the field and we were down by that, I'd be like, all right, he doesn't care about us.
I wouldn't care. Dude, all right. When I play basketball and my teammates, like, just to pick up basketball, my teammates are sucking, I got no mercy for that. If I'm
but they're all like grown men in the NBA.
So don't get your feelings hurt if you're a grown man.
I mean, I don't know. I think LeBron's got to be a better. That's not cool. You gotta stay on the court till the game's over. That's just might be my mentality, but
yeah, I think there's 2 different mindsets on that.
I guess so. I don't know. We'll see. I think LeBron. I'm just not a fan of what LeBron did, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's over.
It is over.
It's over. So I guess we'll go to the Trail Blazers and Nuggets series where it's 3-2 right now. Dame had 55 last night, but it wasn't enough as the Nuggets beat them 147-140 in double overtime. Dang, that game was good. Dame hit 2 buzzer beaters to preserve the game, so he's the man on the mission. Unfortunately, even without Jamal Murray, the Nuggets are tough and they might still win this series. I don't know. That might have been Dame's last. I don't want to count him out, but that might have been his last push to win this series. I don't know how much more a man can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he played ridiculous. I mean, he had 55. He had 10 points, 10 assists, 12 threes made. He was doing everything for his team, and down the stretch in that second overtime, C.J. McCollum steps out of bounds. Robert Covington just misses a dunk. I don't know. His teammates weren't doing it for him. Their defense is god awful. I don't know. Dame can't do any more than he just did, and they still didn't win. I mean, props to the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. is coming up big. Austin Rivers.
What do you have? 26 last night? 26.
Yeah, and he had that the dagger 3, that Joe just popped right over Covington. But yeah. I don't know. There's just really nothing the Blazers can do. Hats off to Lillard because he is hooping, and if he can push to 7, I'm not going to bet against him in a Game 7, but I don't know. And he's known for being one of the most loyal guys in the NBA. respectfully, he might just have to like ask out if they can't put a team around him like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Jokic is playing out of his mind. I mean, he I think he's proving he's the MVP in this series just because Jamal Murray's out and this man's steady putting up 30 to 38 points a game all series.
I think a lot of them Steph Curry fanboys are waking up to who the MVP is. This man has the backcourt of the 38-year-old rookie Campazzo and Austin Rivers, and he's carrying this team. I don't know why people are trying to diminish him, but yeah, I'm glad he's hooping.
No, yeah, he's proving people wrong. I mean, I think like we said earlier, or in a couple episodes ago, he just doesn't have that MVP build to him, where he's not as marketable as Steph Curry and not everyone. And he plays on the West Coast. You know, the media is real East Coast heavy, and like it's East Coast or California. And then if you're not in there, you kind of get hidden from the media a little bit. So I mean, now everyone's waking up a little bit to it. I think Jokic is, you know, I was one of those people. I was like, man, Steph Curry's the guy. But like, I didn't discredit Jokic, but like, props to him. He's playing really well, and I think they're gonna win the series. And so who they play next? They play the 4-5 matchup, right?
Yeah,
that'd be Dallas
Mavericks Clippers.
Mm-hmm. And that series is kind of up in the air. Is that 2-2 still or 3-2 somewhere?
I think it's 2-2. Game 5 tonight. But so Luka like hurt his shoulder and neck, and he just hasn't looked as good. He's like shooting like 40% from the line. Something looks off about him. I don't know. The Mavericks don't really have any momentum, so it's gonna be hard for them to come back. I remember we were just kind of talking about the Clippers' flaws last episode. They just flipped the switch, and now they're balling. So I don't know where this team wants to go.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to. I don't know. I mean, so that'll be a good matchup, I think. No matter who makes it, but I'd give the Clippers probably the upper edge on the Nuggets just because they got 2 stars rather than 1. But we'll see. If Jokic wins that series, I mean, he's MVP of the he's legit. He's a bucket. He's a great player. So, any other series worth noting, Graham? I guess we just talked about that Clippers seem like they're going to win now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only one left is Jazz, Grizzlies, and I think the Jazz have that back. I mean, the Grizzlies are putting up a fight every time, but they're no match.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I think the Grizzlies have a future though with who's like this Brooks with the Brooks guy.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
He's a dog. Yeah, he's a dog.
And then he's a good defensive player, and his offense is going to come around. And then Ja's obviously amazing.
Yeah, build around him and them two, and then maybe keep Jaren Jackson. We'll see how he develops. But yeah, they got a nice little future.
Yeah, they got a good nucleus forming, so good for them and good for them in Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Memphis is going to turn into title town soon, man. Watch out. Titans get Julio, and then Memphis, I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. There's a future down there in Tennessee. Okay, so another big story in sports lately is that Naomi Osaka dropped out of the French Open. Graham, I know you're our tennis expert here, so if you want to give the audience a little bit of a overview on what's been happening with her and the tennis association or the tennis media and why she chose to drop out.
Yeah, well, at first she declined doing, media shows. She wasn't going to do any media, She's mentioned how she's very, introverted and shy and it gives her a lot of anxiety. So, I know you're an athlete, you're obligated to, do your media and, talk to the press and stuff, but, at that, if it's really messing her up that bad where she should step back from the sport, I think that you have to take care of your mental first. And, you saw the support. She's getting tons of support from athletes, not even just in tennis, all over. And then a lot of the big sports anchors are giving a lot of support. It's really just the only backlash she's getting is from these old these old farts that really don't even probably watch tennis. So if you're not even gonna enjoy her when she is putting on a performance for you guys, you have no right to bash her and do all of this when she decides to step back. But I think it was a good decision. I put my mental health over everything. And she is the star of tennis right now. I'd say she's more must-watch tennis than Serena at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important that the tennis handles this correctly and does what they can to help her because she really is bringing in a lot of new and younger eyes to the sport. So hopefully just give her the help she needs, let her take her time. But yeah, it's definitely like we've seen more athletes come out about their mental health recently in the past couple of years. So it's definitely like cool to see that being brought up more and like people are taking it more seriously.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I had a question. Were the questions that she just didn't want to answer about, like, when she declined to speak, was it because she didn't want to answer tennis questions, all questions, or were there like kind of outside questions about like external things that weren't really related to tennis that were bothering her more?
I think she was the first like. It started like I think like they asked her about like if she was gonna like play in the Olympics and like with COVID going on, and she didn't really know what to say. And then there was like I think there was an article like saying like, oh, Osaka's like iffy about it, and like I'm sure she doesn't like being in the news for any like reason that's not just like supporting her tennis. So that probably got to her. I think they kept asking about COVID and like how she is like gonna do it. I don't think she wants to be the one to say something wrong about COVID in this time. So I think that got to her. I think that's when she just declined press altogether, and then obviously it all just piled up and she had to take a step back.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me because her whole life she's been trained to be a tennis player, not to speak on these issues that are really turbulent and polarizing. Like, why would she want to speak on it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, these athletes, they're PR trained, but like they don't have the answers. Like, I don't get why the reporters ask about how they're going to deal with COVID and like what they're doing through COVID. Like, just ask about how they're like their tennis. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter about COVID.
Right, and I think a lot of people who are saying like all of her money comes from tennis, like she shouldn't be like against speaking to the media. Like ask her questions about tennis because she's a tennis player. That's why she's making money, because she's really good at it. She's not really good at speaking about policy with COVID because that's not her job.
Exactly.
Like she's gonna make that decision internally with her agent, her family, I'm sure, and that'll be it. People gotta stop reaching for these athletes to say something that just gets their news company more money.
That's what I'm saying. It's the old generation thinking that they're entitled to everything. Like honestly, a lot of the current athletes, current younger modern people have been supporting her, which is good to see. But it's just this older generation which is trying like hounding her. It's very annoying.
And I don't think most people that are hounding her don't really matter that much.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you said, they don't even watch tennis. They're just like they're just complainers to complain about.
Yeah, they just see it on ESPN and they just social media gives them a platform to yell at people. But it is annoying seeing that.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Naomi Osaka, if you're listening to this podcast, know that you and Graham and I give you all of our support,
full support,
and get those mentals right because we need you back on the court to.
Yes, sir.
She's number 2 in the world, right? Or is she number 1?
Women's tennis rankings fluctuate a lot. I don't know what she was at the moment, but I don't know. She's definitely the person to watch for women's tennis. So
she's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Just get those mentals right. We'll see you back on the court soon. And media, lay off of her a little bit. Come on, chill out.
On God.
Or else you're gonna have to see Graham and I.
You're gonna have to see us, and we coming.
And listen, Naomi Osaka, if you want tennis questions, we got you.
We'll ask some good questions. We won't hound you.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring up the Olympics or anything like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. All right, so we have 2 more things to discuss. I guess we'll talk about Coach Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, as more people know him as. He announced that after this upcoming season, he was going to retire from being the Duke basketball coach. He's made it to 12 Final Fours, winning 5 of them, 5-time national championships, and he's played 41 seasons. Graham, we talked about this before about how college basketball is kind of on the downturn as there are new avenues for players to develop and then go to the NBA and make money while doing so. Graham, what do you think about Coach K retiring, and what does that mean for the NCAA basketball?
Well, I know I said it, like, I don't know what episode it was way back, but these power schools, the Dukes, the Kentuckys, the Kansases, they're not going to just keep getting every single 5-star recruit anymore. And when you have Coach K, that's like, I bet it's like 70% of the reason why kids go to Duke. So he's not going to be there anymore after this season. Duke's becoming less and less desirable. They weren't good last year. They're not the powerhouse that they used to be. These kids, you see them committing to the G League early. You see them going to like, we're not maybe not as big of a school, just so they can beat the guy, get their stats up, and go to the league. College success isn't really, when Carmelo Anthony took that Syracuse team to the championship, that's gonna boost your draft stock. I don't know. It's just not the same anymore. College basketball is definitely, changing. I don't know if it's for the good or for the worse, but I'll see that in the next few years. But yeah, Coach K leaving definitely is throwing a little dagger in the NCAA hearts.
And honestly, like, rest in peace to Eli Gertler. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why he went to Duke, and now he's gone before he graduates. So, sorry if Eli's listening to this, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And Abhinav too, and Abhinav, of course.
Yeah, shout out them. But yeah, it's definitely rough for college basketball. I think you're gonna see the superstar athletes of college basketball get spread out around like Oklahoma State, those random schools is gonna have a superstar, and then you're gonna see a lot more in the G League now. And I think over time you have the sports highlights.
Social media overtime on it. Yeah, the social media platform.
Yeah, they're creating their own league, and I think they're paying athletes as well. So there's a lot going on with that.
I mean, and honestly, with the technology we have today, you don't need to play in front of the huge markets because you can be seen anywhere. You can send a clip to the NBA teams, and if they like what they see, they're going to be interested. It doesn't matter where you come from anymore, like you've been saying.
I mean, James Wiseman went to Memphis and only played, one or two games, and then he was, the second overall pick? You don't need college. Obviously, it might take a little longer to develop, but teams can see your talent from like you said, clips and stuff like that. You don't need to just play a full college season.
And even look at our homegrown guy, Busy Bones. Like, he went to VCU, not like they're a tournament team most years, but like he's gaining more and more respect he might get drafted maybe possibly this year. He's working hard. So like you can go to like mid-major schools and find success nowadays. You don't got to go to Duke, Kentucky, Michigan State, Michigan. It doesn't matter anymore.
On God, it do not matter. Just get yourself out there and you're going to be seen.
Mm-hmm. That could be you one day, Graham. You don't need to go to a big school anymore. Just roll some film.
Should I walk on?
To the NBA, not college.
Oh yeah, I should just send them my street ball tapes,
Yes.
Get picked up and be a 30-year-old rookie like Campazzo over on the Nuggets.
Yeah, Graham. It's like, people were saying, like, I did that back in my day, but the cameras weren't on.
Yeah.
That's you. Like, you do all these things that these guys do in the NBA, but it's just, you were playing people like me, but also the cameras weren't on.
I won't give you that much credit, but, I like the hoop here and there. I got a little tricks up my sleeve.
Graham's being modest. He's a pretty good basketball player. Probably one of the best people around this area.
Thank you, Will. I appreciate that.
He just needs to gain some weight, then not gain some weight.
What
hit the gym a little bit, and then he can become a 5-star hooper. He's probably like 4.5 right now.
I'll never be in the gym. You'll never catch me there.
To each his own. Okay, that's okay. So, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to shake up, and then you got all the other coaches are getting old too. Like UNC has a new coach. Duke is gonna have a new coach. Tom Izzo's getting kind of older. Calipari probably has 10 more years, and he's out.
It's a whole new generation, whole new way things are gonna get done.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it plays out. I don't know, maybe. Well, we don't even know if paying these college athletes is good or not. We don't know the benefits or the pros, the cons. So we're gonna see the next few years how it plays out.
And all I'm saying is I want the same shakeup in college football too. Cause it would make it way more interesting.
Yeah, college football I think is a lot worse. Cause
we need Nick Saban to retire.
That's what I'm saying. Cause it's literally the same 3-4 teams max. At least in March Madness you get upsets because it's only one and done, and basketball is a lot more. It can go either way. Football, it's like Alabama. They got 23 players that are going to the NFL.
The thing about the college basketball is I feel like chemistry is really important. So these mid-major schools that guys are there for 4 years, they build that chemistry and they can beat a team even if they're less talented because they have that chemistry over like the teams like Duke and Michigan State in the past. But then in college football, you have to be there for 3 years, so that chemistry builds regardless.
So if you're already in chemistry and you're already the most talented players.
Yeah, and then Alabama's just better than everyone.
Exactly.
So there's not that factor of one and dones in college football that can kind of just like hurt a team from having championship success.
Yeah, there's no minor league football. College football is the minor leagues.
Exactly. And so, I mean, it's definitely good. I definitely think I think basketball, it's good to have 1 year of college or like 1 year somewhere before you go to the NBA because you need to kind of get some. Because going straight from high school would be like impossible. But because you just wouldn't have the mentality mature enough. But like same with baseball. Baseball is the minor leagues where you develop. So I don't know. They all have their different things. So it's harder to reform football, I think. Not reform, but just to make it more competitive.
Yeah, I mean it's also only in the U.S. football. Like you can't get any like Euro leagues for playing football. Like no one cares about football except for like the U.S. It's kind of hard to
It's hard to realize that because it's like
it's the biggest sport in America, but everywhere else they laugh at it. Like, they don't think it's like a meaningful sport.
I know it's people on social media will be like when people are like the world champs, they'll be like the world, and it's just North America.
I mean that's kind of how it is.
America, like we like to think we're the whole world, so
yeah, we got some egos.
It's good to have an ego a little bit, but all right. So we rolled into that a little bit. Coach K is gonna coach 42 years. That's insane to be the head coach of a team for that long. So good for him. We're gonna see him out on the court this year. Hopefully, he can do something in his last year. Maybe win a national championship. I think guys are gonna be like, well, the one and done guys will probably go there, but other guys are gonna be like, I don't want to go there. He's leaving.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely a huge persuasive factor. I mean, it's Coach K.
Yeah, imagine being a sophomore in high school right now, the best basketball player in the country, and you just hear that.
They're going straight to the G League. Listen, I'm not dealing with that.
All right, I guess Duke's off my list. Well, speaking of basketball, Graham, we have one more topic to get into today. The Boston Celtics, my favorite team, got eliminated by Brooklyn last night. Yeah, it wasn't our year. Guys were injured all year. It's kind of a weird season. It doesn't really matter anyway. We weren't going to win the title probably. But Danny Ainge retired, and as soon as that happened, it got announced that Brad Stevens, who's literally like 40, is going to vacate the head coaching job and move up to management and become the GM for the team, which I haven't done any research on because I just found this out. But that seems pretty unprecedented. Graham, what do you think about that?
Yeah, you definitely don't see like a head coach, especially of that status. Like Brad Stevens is a respected coach, and like I don't know, I feel like coaching like a head coach like that is really important to a team. So it's kind of I feel like the Celtics are risking it by taking him out of that coaching position and putting him in the front office. Like you have to put a lot of faith in the next coach you hire. And yeah, you don't see that a lot. Just like he's going straight to the front office. I think I actually saw that like Danny Ainge actually did that. He went from a head coach to working in the front office. So maybe I don't know, they're just trying to follow in his footsteps. But it's definitely weird. And Danny Ainge said he didn't want to retire. He just wanted to step down from the Celtics organization. So he might still be a GM somewhere else. So he'll probably be a popular.
Oh, he stepped down? Okay.
Yeah, it's not like he retired. He just stepped down. So he's still going to be a popular, like, people are going to want to go after him as a GM. He has burned some bridges by like pulling out of trades last minute because he didn't feel like he was getting a fair bargain. So I don't know how respected he is at the moment, but he is a pretty good GM for the most part. So it's definitely weird, but I mean Brad Stevens is a smart guy. He probably will have success in the front office. But it's definitely weird. They're putting a lot of faith in the next coaching hire by taking away an already really good coach.
Right, and it's not like Brad Stevens is. If he was a little older, I feel like this would make sense because I think being the GM, although it's insanely stressful, probably it's a little less stressful in games, like the hyper stress that a coach would feel. So I could see like the older coach, maybe like Doc Rivers, becoming a GM after his coaching career, just as an example. But Brad Stevens becoming a GM so young, it's going to be weird next year. He's going to be in the press box during the game, and he's going to be like, "Why did you do that?"
He's going to have to adjust a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be weird for him. But I mean, he looks more like a GM anyway than a basketball coach. So He has that like nerd look to him a little bit. So.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I hope it works out. I mean, we got a good team coming back next year.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Woj reported that like he was getting really like mentally exhausted since the bubble, and then he obviously the Celtics had a very exhausting year this year. So I think he was just like gassed out, like he just didn't want to coach anymore. I have a feeling though he will get back into coaching down the road, but I think for right now he just needed a break from coaching, and the Celtics maybe just did him a favor, said, hey, Danny Ainge's gonna step down. We want to put you in the front office. I feel like that was a nice little thing the Celtics did. But he's just he is so young. I can't see him not coaching again in the future.
I can't see. I just think it's gonna be weird for him, and I think he'll definitely coach again. He'll probably coach for the Celtics again. Maybe he just needs a little reboot in a couple of years. And it might be an advantage to the Celtics because he literally is probably the best person to tell you what the Celtics need next year. So maybe he can go out and get it.
Yeah, he definitely knows personality, knows what you need to bring in. I saw reports that Marcus Smart might be moved. I don't know what they would want to bring in for that, but I don't know. Maybe they see something that they can get. It's going to be interesting because we know the Celtics, they do have a lot of assets, so we'll see what type of moves they make. I don't know. Danny Ainge loved the draft and he loved his picks. He's not there anymore, so we'll see how they deal with that now.
Yeah, probably Brad Stevens would be like the opposite because, it's like when you're getting married. You usually get married to someone who like feels the strengths of what your family's weaknesses were. So you're like, I'm gonna do exactly the opposite if you didn't like what your family did for you. So it's gonna be interesting.
Also, I mean, we've seen these last 2 or 3 months, Jason Tatum has elevated to the next level as a professional scorer. He gets buckets. I think the Celtics realize it. I know Brad Stevens realizes it. They need to get help now while he's still young. And you build around him, build a team that's fit for him, because he has stepped into that superstar, soon-to-be role. Like, he's really stepped up in these playoffs. He's putting up ridiculous numbers, scoring with ease on Kevin Durant. Like, he stepped up.
No, I don't really have like a top 10 rankings in my head of the current NBA players, but he's fringing right on the cusp of that, being in that top 10, don't you think?
He's definitely fighting his way into that. I mean, the league is the deepest it's ever been. There's so much talent. And that says a lot, honestly. If he's creeping into the top 10, you have to be something special to be in there right now. So, and I think he is on his way there.
Yeah, there's just like 6 or 7 guys that are just not movable towards that top, and then there's like people after that like Jason Tatum's in that group probably. After like the Steph Currys, the LeBron James, and James Hardens in the NBA, he's probably in the next time the group with like. You know what I mean?
There's already like a set of like the veteran superstars, and then you got like the Jokic, the Lukas, the Tatum. They're like the
Booker, yeah.
The next coming of the superstars, the next era of the NBA. And he's definitely, I think him and Luka are leading that pack right now.
Yeah, you almost can't put them in the same group as LeBron and them because even if LeBron isn't as talented as those younger guys are right now, just because he's getting a little older. His experience and wisdom puts him above them. It's kind of like the same with Tom Brady. Like he's not the best right now. He's like lost some physical attributes, but their mentals are so much stronger and sophisticated that they can kind of get away with the loss of physical attributes.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. I know that people are saying, what's the NBA going to be like when LeBron leaves? Like, I feel like they're going to lose a lot of viewership.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're in really good hands. There's so much talent in the league right now, and these young guys have been balling out these playoffs. Like, I think the league's in good hands. There's so much talent, and I don't know. I think it's in a really good spot.
There's also like new markets. Like the Suns haven't been good in a while, but now they're going to be good. And so you're always going to have Lakers fans who are going to want to watch Lakers games, even if they digressed a little bit. But like Memphis is in a good place. The Phoenix Suns are in a good place. Those are new markets that the NBA fans are going to get attached to. So the NBA is in a good place because their best players aren't necessarily in the biggest markets right now. That like the best young players aren't in the greatest markets. So that'll help the NBA.
Yeah, if they can stay loyal, because the small markets always get screwed, but if they can stay loyal and stay on their teams, the NBA is going to be good for a while.
But think about it. If those older guys retire, I know what you're saying, but if those old guys retire, those big market teams might not be as good, and they'll have money to spend. But if you're winning and you're better than the big market teams, you might as well stay where you're at. But I don't obviously don't know the psychology of these guys. But
just some people want to be in LA. Like it's just
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
It's like Milwaukee or LA.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but like I'm just wishfully thinking right now that they stay in their markets they're in right now. The NBA is in even a better place.
Oh, 100%. It would be a lot better. It's just a lot of these guys just care about their money. To get their money and be in the nicest location.
Mm-hmm.
Only the real superstars care about their legacy, what they would want to get, like, be in the best winning situation, which is good, because if they just want to be in the winningest situation, they could stay in their teams.
Like Tim Duncan.
Oh, shout out Tim Duncan. Who just played for the Spurs his whole career, hooping, most underrated player ever. Got him in my top 5. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, if you think about it, he was like the Ray Allen shot away from being 6-0 in the finals too.
Exactly, that man's a baller. I think he's just because he's like very, very bland, but he's top 5 all time. I don't care.
It's kind of like Jokic. We're like Jokic is like Jokic. It's like the same thing. We're like they're kind of in lower markets. They're low key guys, and they're just hooping.
Hooping, bro. It's great to see.
And then who knows? Jokic could have 4 rings in like 15 years. You never know. Him and Jamal Murray run the table a couple times.
That would be amazing. I do think Jamal Murray's third option there next year, though. But, you know, we'll see.
Hey, I mean, that power to him. If they have Jamal Murray as their third option, I take him as my third option.
Then they gonna get some rings.
You hear it first. Denver's ring chasing. So, today we talked about, oh my gosh, we talked about a lot of stuff, Graham. We talked about the NBA. We talked about Naomi Osaka, supporting her. We talked about Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge, and then talked about a little bit of Coach K. So, I think that's a pretty good episode, Graham. We were having fun.
Yes, sir.
Us out, sir.
Yeah, we covered it all today. We was very all over the place, but it was organized. It was organized all over the place. That's how we like to do it. You know, we're gonna get some debates going. We had more. We didn't think it was gonna be a filled up episode, so we might have had debate. But you know, a lot of news broke today, so we got to fill it up. But there's gonna be debates coming soon. Graham versus Will. That's interesting.
We're gonna take him down.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Peace, y'all.
Peace.